What is up, everybody? Welcome to the first ever second episode. That's a long-running joke on the Nerd Cave, bringing a little humor over. I am Robbie Rawls.
Jacob Miller.
A lot of new stuff have come out this week. A lot of games, a lot of movies. Why not start it off kind of where we left off last week with The Mandalorian? We both have caught up. He caught up Friday when it released. I am not as fortunate to be able to watch it as soon as it comes out, so I devoured the episode probably 30 minutes before this episode was recorded. What did you think of the new episode?
I mean, the last two episodes before this one were a lot more action-packed.
Right.
But, I mean, they have to wind down, you know, not every episode can be as wild as the last two.
Yeah.
But I think it went really well. What did you think of it?
Well, I know, because I hadn't watched it, the episode that aired last Friday when we recorded it, but I was able to watch it. And it does show Mando is trying to unload Baby Yoda. He wants it to be safe, and so he found this middle of nowhere planet, backwoods planet, to try to leave Yoda there. Well, turns out with the little tracking beep beep thingy that all the other bounty hunters in the guild have, no place is going to be really safe. Mm-hmm. So I think a lot of this is going to be leading up to a final showdown with the Mandalorians and all the people he has interacted with through the episode so far. Mm-hmm. So you have the guy that taught him how to ride the two-legged lizard thing.
Yeah, I have spoken.
I have spoken guy. He's talked to the ex-trooper in the episode where on the backwater planet.
Yeah.
Obviously, the mechanic lady with the 3 droids. So, you know, he's interacted with a lot of people. So I'm wondering if maybe later...
these people don't have more significance.
These people will come back, help Mando and the Mandalorians go up against the guild. Because, like I said, there's nothing's going to stop the bounty hunters from coming.
Until he takes out
I'm
thinking maybe they'll go after the Imperial guy that set up the mission in the first place. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I mean, it could either be him or he is a public enemy of the guild. Mm-hmm. So at some point, whether it's, you know, with the Imperial officers or whether it's with the guild, he's going to have to do something in order to stop all this from happening. In the latest episode that aired Friday morning, it showed Mando going to Mos Eisley, which is on Tatooine, I believe. Yes, Tatooine. And he runs into we'll call it a newbie. A newbie guild member. He's trying to get into the guild. He's obviously not very, very trained. So a lot of really cool sequences happen in this one. You know, him and Mando are trying to work together to go after this other bounty. Mando gets betrayed because, you know, this kid wants to become legendary in the guild.
Get in.
So obviously the biggest prey that you can get is obviously Mando, because he's a Mandalorian.
He's got a big price on his head.
Big price, and he's got Baby Yoda. So a lot of stuff plays out in this episode. I'm very excited to see where this show goes from here. Because there's a lot of different things that they can do. Super, super excited. I think they've done a great job with The Mandalorian so far.
There's no telling what is to come with this series, because there's so much room in the Star Wars universe.
Right. So some other, we'll kind of go back and forth, movie game. I know we talked a little bit about Fallen Order. Jacob had played a little bit. I have not much at all. Well, roles have reversed, because I have devoured the game since our last podcast, and I don't think Jacob has played much, but he said he did watch a lot of different things about the video game. Jedi Fallen Order, I've played it a lot. I've gotten to see what they're trying to do. But if you haven't played it, kind of steer clear. A little bit of spoiler coming. The idea of the game is they're trying to rebuild the Jedi Order, which is something that's super cool, because obviously when the Jedi Order was in its height, everybody wanted to be a Jedi. Jedis are cool. So you're this Padawan that, you know, gets brushed aside. He's left the order. He's trying to lay low, and then the Grand Inquisitors come and kind of shake him down to his core. So now he's on the run. Him, an ex-Jedi, and a four-armed, I don't even know what his species is. A four-armed alien is the captain of the ship, and we're going to different planets. I kind of
find different clues of what a former master has left behind for you.
Right, and what he's left behind is a Jedi holocron, which has all the names of would-be Force-sensitive children, people. We haven't been able to dig too deep into that yet. I know a few people who have beat the game, and they said that I have a lot to get ready for. And I will say the combat in this game has been...
It's a little difficult.
Very interesting. I enjoy it, but it is very hard. Because I have the Stormtrooper with the little shocky stick.
Yeah.
While I'm getting shot at by other Stormtroopers, so I'm trying to stabby stab and blocky block at the same time. And I think I just found the name of the episode, Stabby Stab Blocky Block. But anyway, so getting used to the mechanics of the fighting has been the most difficult part for me. I don't mind the guided system as much. It kind of reminds me of a Force Unleashed in a way, and the Force Unleashed games to me were one of my favorite games. Knights of the Old Republic being obviously the best Star Wars game I've ever played. Even though graphics and stuff don't hold up to what today's standards are, I still love going back and playing it.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, Fallen Order, it's a super fun game. I'll probably try to play more today after I watch the Titans game. If you didn't know, I'm a big Titans fan there, and we're luckily recording before the game today. I know you said you watched some stuff on the Fallen Order, so what are some things that you're liking about the game, or what are you wanting to get from the game?
Well, when it comes to Star Wars, I'm a big lore person, so I watch a lot of podcasts on YouTube by different people. They say how certain Jedi did after the Purge, and what certain clone troops did after the Purge, and everything. It just covers a whole different aspect of what we see in the movies and everything. So when I haven't been able to play Fallen Order as much, I've just watched some different cutscenes and different lore on how the story could go, or certain characters, how they've come to where they are in this game. So
right, and that's another cool thing about this game is it's Cal, right? Cal.
Yeah.
Cal has a very rare Force ability where he's able to sense echoes, and he's able to see a guitar type instrument and play a song that somebody else wrote, but it was a memory tied to that, or a random backpack, and be able to figure out what happened, why that backpack's there. So you're getting to dig a little bit deeper, and like you said, after they executed Order 66, a lot of Jedi were killed. Some went into hiding. Obviously, Master Yoda was hiding. Obi-Wan Kenobi was hiding. So it's pretty cool to see some of the other Jedi and kind of seeing what happened to them after the aftermath of all that. So being able to pick up echoes of that, being able to kind of study, like you have your little droid, BD-8,
or something like that.
Something close to that. There's a lot of names. Like I said,
I think it's BD-1.
BD-1. I'm thinking BB-8. But, and being able to scan. Okay, you have different classes of Stormtroopers. Obviously, you have different wildlife and different things like that. BD-1 is able to scan them, and you get to kind of read a little bit about them, and that's some of the fun parts about the game as well. You're getting to learn about creatures, Minox, different things like that in the Star Wars universe.
If you do play Fallen Order, you notice the Dark Jedi you come across, they're called Inquisitors. And they have brought those into other games. Like, I believe there was one in the Jedi Outcast 2. Or no, the prequel to that. But you played as Kyle Katarn, and he played against some... You probably know what I'm talking
probably
about.
know what you're talking about, but that is digging into archives from long ago.
The Inquisitors basically, they could just be Dark Jedis that have come across the Empire, or say they were light side Jedi, and they basically took the side of the Empire to stay alive, and that's pretty much where they come from, in case you're wondering.
And somebody told me that the female Inquisitor is actually one of the Night Sisters, which is, Ventress from the Star Wars Clone Wars the cartoon. She is one of the Night Sisters, and you actually get to go to their home world, which is the red Sith planet that I cannot remember.
I actually know the origin of the second sister, and I don't know if I want to tell you because you're not that far yet.
Right.
But I don't think that's her origin.
You don't think so?
Because it does, the part where I watched it, it shows her origin and how she came to be who she is.
Okay. And that's a cool part about this game, is I want to be able to uncover more about the Inquisitors, because they're, you have the super big brute, and then you have her, which she's very agile, very quick. So a lot of exciting stuff that I'm ready to dive into. And I have 4 days off of work this week, a little mini vacay to myself. So my backlog of video games, which is immense. I have definitely shiny syndrome, where I'll play a game and then something new will come out, and I'm like, all right, we'll put you aside, and I'll start playing it. And it's a deadly cycle to fall in, because now I have so many games I haven't beat. But I'm excited to do that. So, following the course of what we're doing, game, movie, game, let's go into Mulan. Did you watch the trailer that dropped?
I did, and it seems like, they're going to steer away from... They might steer away from the actual, like, how the whole cartoon went, which is not unusual for how they've been doing the live action, so...
They have taken some liberties with the live action movies. We've seen... The one that stayed most on course was The Lion King, which was literally a scene for scene, minus Timon's singing of the Beauty and the Beast, Be Our Guest, where he's started singing that. Obviously, we've seen reports they're not going to have Mushu, which...
Kind of a disappointment.
But yeah, because Mushu was one of my favorite characters.
I think he played a big role in the movie.
Right.
So.
But I'm sure that they're going to find other things to fill it in. I have heard rumors that there will not be singing in this one, which some of my all-time favorite songs from Disney have come from Mulan. I cannot tell you how many times in the car it's come across my Pandora, and I just break out with, and I'll make a man out of you. Like, I know every word. When the different people are singing it, I even match their voice. That's how much I love the song. So I'm hoping to have the singing in there, because that would make the movie that much better to me.
I think I could live without it being a musical.
But I mean, that's what Disney is. But, it's okay to agree to disagree. We have two different opinions. But I did hear in the trailer, the song, Who Is That Girl I See? It was playing, but it was an instrumental version of that song.
Oh, okay.
So, don't know where it's going to go, but you do see... Follow Mulan. Her father gets drafted because the Huns are coming. We know the story. Father's not in the best of shape, and tugging on the heartstrings, the mother looks at Fa Mulan and says, he will not be coming home this time. And that breaks out to her getting the sword, doing her karate stuff, and going and fighting the Hun, which, the lead villain for the Hun, how he had the Falcon.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually a witch in this one.
Yeah, I think they still have that lead guy, but he does fight with a witch, yeah.
But, it's him and the witch, and she's a shapeshifter type thing. So that is a cool and different twist, which, like we said, a lot of times with Tarzan, I want to say the Jungle Book, they've taken some liberties with the live action versions, which a lot of what Jon Favreau and everybody else at Disney who have been working on these movies, they've done a good job with the liberties that they've taken. They haven't
overstepped.
Right. The first ever one they did was the Cinderella live remake. I did not care for that one, but all the other ones, the Jungle Book, Tarzan, have all been good in my eye.
Oh yeah.
Might not be good in yours, but to me, I enjoyed them. Everybody has their own opinion, but I'll be in the theater like I have been with every one of these Disney remakes, and Disney is a diabolical genius for just re-releasing these cartoons into live action movies and making a crap ton of money off of them. So Disney, great marketing strategy. Kudos to you, because once again, I'm going to be in the theater watching them and enjoying them, and probably owning them on DVD.
Oh yeah, take your money.
Right. That's what Disney does, whether it's me going to Disney World or going to theaters to watch Disney.
Oh yeah.
So, going back to one of my all-time favorite horrible movies, Starship Troopers. Those dang alien bugs are coming back to us, but not in movie form. They are actually coming out in 2020 with a PC game called Star Troopers Terrain Commander, I believe is what the name of it is. It is a strategy game, much like Lauder Biffle or Lord of the Rings Battle for Middle-earth, Halo Wars, kind of that style game. Now, I've always enjoyed these games, whether it was the Alien vs. Predator game, Lord of the Rings Battle for Middle-earth, Halo Wars. I've always enjoyed the strategy games. They just always have been fun to me. This one, I do not have a PC that can run that right now, but hopefully, wife permitting, of course, we can get a decent gaming computer to where I can play this game. Because Starship Troopers, even with Gary Busey's kid in there, I do not care for the Busey family very much, but even with him in there, I've loved the movies. I will watch them over and over and over again. Holly thinks I am an idiot because I enjoy these movies. She watched 15 minutes of Starship Troopers, the very first one, and she's like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. And I don't disagree with her. I just don't know what brings me back to this movie every time. But what are your take on, you watched a little bit of the clip. I know you haven't been able to dig much into it, but did you watch Starship Troopers? Do you enjoy strategy games?
I watched Starship Troopers a long time ago. I mean, I remember bits and pieces about it. I remember, a big fight, and then I remember when it was over, they had their celebration and everything.
Right.
I've played some strategy games. I guess it just depends on the game and if I played it and if I like it. But I mean, it's just like hit or miss with strategy games for me. So.
Right, and like I said, the big three that I remember and that I've enjoyed are Halo Wars 1 and 2. Lord of the Rings Battle for Middle-earth. I can go into so much detail about Lord of the Rings Battle for Middle-earth. But Starship Troopers, Terrain Commander, is taking a movie that I love, which I know it has a cult following because most crappy movies that are relatively successful have to have a cult following. Taking that and putting it into a strategy game like that is something that I definitely want to look into. It looks fun. I want to get more information on it and obviously get a computer that can run it, of course, because we got a MacBook Air, I believe is what we just bought, and I know that MacBooks don't typically do well with the...
It just depends on the game and
right.
what its demands are for running
exactly.
it.
So we will just have to see. So anything else you want to add on Terrain Commander? So we're going to move to a TV show that I have not watched the first season of, but Jacob has. I've watched the teaser trailer that just came out. The Boys, an Amazon original TV show about the nitty-gritty superheroes.
So basically, it's about superheroes. It has like basically what appears to be like a knockoff Superman. Seems like he has all the powers and everything, super strength, laser eyes, and everything like that. But basically, it's a organized team of superheroes, and basically it's about them being corrupt and everything. First season's basically this guy is with his girlfriend on the side of the street, and the Flash, basically, it's not his name, but he runs through the guy's girlfriend, and of course the guy wants revenge, so he teams up with Carl Urban's character, and they team up and basically try to get revenge and kill all the superheroes. And it goes, kind of their way, but, kind of against them at the same time. So,
right.
Second season will cover more of that, and I think it'll be pretty interesting.
It definitely, from the teaser trailer that I saw, it is a very nitty-gritty. It kind of reminds me of a Watchmen. I know HBO has the Watchmen series. I've seen the Watchmen movie. Not read the graphic novel for the Watchmen, but it does kind of look like that, because the Watchmen, they take, you have your DC, which is dark, doesn't kill anybody. Then you have Marvel, super light, funny, they kill everybody. But then you have Watchmen, which, it literally shows the Joker in the movie shooting a woman. Very, very bloody, very gory, violent. It was a good movie, but I kind of see that this is similar to it. It does have
it's very gory.
That same feel, because you just open up the teaser with I'm assuming the Superman-like character with like blood and like gore on its face, and you're like, oh. So it's kind of
definitely a darker TV show than what you'd think it would be.
Right, and I do have your Amazon logins, so I should probably jump on the first season before the second season comes out. It does look like a show that is right up my alley. I know that there was a Netflix show that was kind of similar with the superheroes, and they were all kind
Heroes?
from the Umbrella Academy.
Yeah. That was a good show.
So there's a lot of really cool superhero shows out there that are not under the DC umbrella or the Marvel umbrella. So, obviously shout out to Umbrella Factory, go watch it. Obviously go watch The Boys, because I know I am. What you laughing at?
Umbrella Academy.
What did I say?
Factory.
There are umbrella factories. I wouldn't recommend going and watching them, because all they do is make umbrellas. But if you want to watch Umbrella Academy, that's the one with the superheroes. We'll go ahead with Black Widow. The trailer dropped for it.
Mm-hmm.
And it does look really cool. It looks like she is going back to Mother Russia to tie up a little bit from the Red Room. It doesn't matter whether it's Marvel movies. I've been watching the Marvel Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes on Disney Plus, which is an animated 2-season cartoon type thing.
Mm-hmm. They've
even referenced the Red Room. So to be able to kind of dive into what makes Black Widow, because, she is super walled off, she is very hardened, just to kind of see what she went through. And obviously she's a great fighter. Super cool. She's a super spy. She's right up there with Nick Fury. They're both, awesome spies. Oh, yeah. So we get to see her team up with her sister, and Hopper was her father.
I think that was their father, yeah.
Yeah.
Basically Russian Captain America.
Russian Captain America. So it looks like after season 3 of Stranger Things, Hopper was taken to Russia, where he busted out of prison, became the Russian Captain America. I guess he quit smoking and wearing unflattering shirts, unlike he did in Stranger Things 3. So, there's really no tie-in to Stranger Things in this movie. But Black Widow looks phenomenal. I know we shared it to our page, The Bald and the Bearded, which, if you want more updates on what's going on in nerd culture, or just want to talk to us, go to Bald and the Bearded. We have a Facebook page where we upload a lot of stuff too.
It looks like it's gonna, meet my expectations of what I would think it would be. It looked like there's gonna be a lot of fight scenes and a lot of, just Black Widow being Black Widow. I was curious about the timeline, so I did look it up, and it says it takes place in between Civil War and Infinity War. So, I mean, I'm not surprised, obviously, because if you watched, Infinity War and Endgame, you know what happened to her. So.
Right. Not pretty. It ended up costing Thanos everything. But, kind of going off of that, Marvel Phase 1 and Phase 2. Phase 2 ended with Infinity War. What the last 10 years of, or almost 20 years, 2008 is when Iron Man came out. So the last 10 years of what Marvel has been building up to was Infinity War. So now we're getting kind of like these standalone movies with Black Widow. We're going to be seeing another Black Panther. So a lot of different things are coming out, and we're just going to have to piece them in the timeline, and we'll do our best to kind of help you guys know where all that is going to fall. But it's kind of, we know we're not going to get the same level movies as
originally
the Avengers, all those movies. These are going to be standalones. You cannot compare it to what Infinity War is or any of the other predecessors to Black Widow, Black Panther, and all these other movies that are coming out, because I still think they're going to be awesome. I know we do have kind of an oversaturation of hero movies and TV shows out there, but I was made for the superhero world. I enjoy everyone that comes out. I know the more casual fan is probably tired of hearing about Marvel, DC, blah, blah, blah. But I'm not. I could devour all of it, and I've enjoyed watching them. And I think the Black Widow movie is going to be awesome. We actually got a little teaser poster of the second Black Panther. And it does, and I don't know, a lot of this is still rumors and everything like that, but it does look like Namor is going to be in it, which is kind of like the knockoff Aquaman of DC. Not nearly as cool as what Aquaman is. And it does look like Doctor Doom might be the villain in it as well, because, Doctor Doom is typically the Fantastic Four's villain. He is the ruler over Latveria, which is his own little country that he staked claim over. So seeing him in a Black Panther movie is going to be really cool, because the big thing that he's going to be after. If he's trying to take over Wakanda, obviously vibranium is a resource that everybody wants their hands on. Obviously, it doesn't look like Wakanda is technologically advanced, but once you see their weaponry, their medicine. We talked about Doctor Doom being the big bad in the Black Panther, Wakanda, vibranium, important. So we'll just have to kind of see what comes from that. Our final topic of today is Wonder Woman. The trailer released, I believe it was...
There's a teaser released yesterday.
Yesterday. It looks fantastic. Wonder Woman was a breath of fresh air to the DC universe. And I am not a DC hater. I love DC. I love Marvel. But unfortunately, in the movie world, DC has been lacking in their movies. Obviously, Batman vs. Superman, not the greatest. I still enjoyed it. Jesse Eisenberg just did not do it for me for Lex Luthor. Talked about it many times on the Nerd Cave and other podcasts. But Wonder Woman was fantastic. Wonder Woman 2 looks like it is going to be equally fantastic. Gal Gadot is the perfect woman, I believe, for Wonder Woman. I saw her swinging like Tarzan with the lasso of truth on lightning bolts. That there has me sold on this this movie. Seeing her fight with the lasso of truth, because I don't feel like we didn't see much of the lasso in the first Wonder Woman movie. I might be mistaken. It has been a while since I've seen it.
I feel like we saw more of the lasso fighting in the Batman vs. Superman than we did in the Wonder Woman movie or the Justice League movie.
So I am very excited to see Gal Gadot. She is very. Try to think of the best way to put it.
Amazonian.
Right. I can't say. She's a very BA character.
Okay.
We'll say that. We'll shorten that up a little bit. What are your thoughts on Wonder Woman?
I'll be interested to see how they pick it up after the first movie.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm sure she'll still be mourning her loss of Chris Pine's character and feel interested to see how they pick it up with what kind of storyline they use on this.
Right. The amount that we've seen Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, what are your thoughts of her?
I mean, I think she fits the role really well. I've seen her in other movies as well, so she's definitely a good action character because she was great in the Fast and Furious franchise and what she was in that. So I have no doubt she'll continue to be a great person for this role.
So what you're saying is you'd let her tie you up with that lasso of truth, right?
Yeah.
So, that's pretty much all I have on the docket for today. I know last week's was 15 minutes. This week's has been 30, probably 32, 33. Maybe by the time we get done editing. So, we are trying to figure out a best way of figuring out where we want to keep the time limit. So, we're probably going to keep it around the 15 to 30 minute mark. And every episode should air without any technical difficulties or
in the future
worldly difficulties. Everything should be out on Mondays, depending on how quick the podcasts get out. I know the podcast for the first episode, I've had a few issues. I know because we're presenting ourselves as first-time podcast, getting set up on those. I know Google Play, Spotify, we've been on that. I'm still working on iTunes, so hopefully I can get us on iTunes and start getting episode 1 and 2 up on that. I'm not sure the timeline on that, but the video will be available on YouTube and Facebook by Monday. Jacob, anything else, buddy?
You got it.
Alright, this has been Robbie
and Jacob
for the Bald and the Bearded. Have a good day.